like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. What?
I think that the Bible's telling you to stop quoting it. Hello and welcome to Merriment. I'm Carly, co-host of this podcast, along with my husband, Johnny J. And this week we started off talking about TV, and we ended up Googling Proverbs and getting way too wrapped up in an argument about what the term Bible thumping literally means. We talk about what it means also when a baby goes through developmental leaps and our coinciding breakdowns. And Johnny confesses about behaving like a toddler at his mom's house. And he explains how to avoid chores. I know you all want to figure that out. Thanks for listening. We love when you listen. We also love when you join us on social. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us by searching at Carly and Johnny. And subscribe to us while you're at it on wherever you get your podcasts. Now come on in and join the merriment. Oh, we already started. I was like, are you going to press the button?
No, we're done. We're live. We are live on the airwaves.
You know what? This is lucky number 13.
Is that a special number in the podcast world?
Maybe. I'm going to say from now on. Yeah.
Wow. 13. What a number.
Definitely not unlucky.
No. It's a lot of people's favorite number. That's what I remember.
I know it's Cassie's favorite number.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why? Why do people have favorite numbers?
You know what? For Cassie, she just like has seen it everywhere her whole life at like times when it just like snaps her into a new kind of like level of consciousness again. And she's just like, oh, there's that number again. What does it mean? Wow. Yep. And also her birthday's on the 13th.
Well, that's probably what it is. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite number?
I say 7, but I don't know. It doesn't really mean anything to me.
Yeah. Mine is.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Doesn't mean anything to me. Is that no?
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Yes, there's a new Westworld episode out. We just watched it.
It's great. It's really good.
So good.
Man, there's a lot to discuss. But there's spoilers.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. But
if you're into Westworld, it's a good show.
It was really relieving actually to watch it again and just be like, oh, it's nice to have a good show again.
It's nice to watch television and actually feel inspired instead of just blah.
Looking at you, Riverdale.
Oh, burn.
Oh, it's just turning into total, like, at first it was like high quality candy, and now it's kind of, it's not quite that like the Halloween candy where it's got the like orange wrapping with like ghosts on it and stuff. It's not quite that level. It's like, I don't know. It's like I was going to say O. Henry, but some people love O. Henry's.
I love O. Henry's. Well, I did love O. Henry's. There were always the last chocolate bars in the Halloween candy stash. In the pile,
yeah.
But I was like, great.
You know what? They're pretty decent still, actually. I would say Riverdale has become like the gumballs in the individual packaging.
Not a fan.
It's okay, you know. You're gonna eat it because you need some sugar, but it's not quite.
Just because you need your fix of sugar. I remember when I've never seen an episode, and I'm dedicated to never ever watching an episode of Riverdale ever since our friend of ours showed us the script.
It was not allowed either, so we cannot say who that was. He had like an NDA and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the script would look terrible. On paper, that script was bad.
It was dumb. And
I was like, this is going to be the worst show. And then people were telling me, like good friends of mine were telling me, oh my gosh, have you watched that new show Riverdale? And I was like, are you serious? I saw the script. That's terrible.
It is. Well, we didn't see the script. We saw like a couple of lines of the script.
Saw the whole script.
We read the whole extensively. We read the script extensively.
No, you're right.
And
it was just
made a very educated decision on not watching it.
It was just the fact that like Reggie was saying bro and things like that. I was just like, oh my gosh, they're trying to make this modern, but it actually translated really well, at least for like the first season.
Well, I'll never know. I will never know. I feel like
I actually don't think you would like it.
Yeah, I know that I won't like it. I'm so confident on that.
It's just all about drama. It's about high school students. Yeah. Why do I watch this show?
Why do you don't anymore? Do you?
I'm not going to say no to that. Every now and then when I've had a long day and I've got a little bit of time to myself and I just need to curl up with like a White Russian or something or some chocolate and just like feel like I'm doing something just for me, even if it's like not good for me.
Oh yeah.
That's watching Riverdale.
See, I get mad when I waste time watching things that are just okay. And it's like it's incredibly unsatisfying. Like when first few times we watched movies after having a kid, when it was like, okay, we have time to do this just for ourselves, because we didn't really watch movies well. Like baby was just,
when he was really small.
Yeah, we did.
It was hard.
It was hard, and we felt like it was bad for him or something.
Oh well, we wouldn't watch it when he was around.
No,
really,
no,
not really, unless he was sleeping.
Yeah, but the first few times we watched movies that were not that great, and it was frustrating. I was mad. And then recently when we watched Beauty and the Beast, barf.
That was
Barf.
awful.
Absolute barf. I
That
mean,
was so sad.
I'm sure if you're a little kid, most things will be pretty magical and great, I think. But it was like they're trying to be the cartoon, but just so half-assed.
No, it was weird. It was like it's like they forgot it's a musical, and musicals are over the top and really expressive, and it was like they were just trying to be like, oh, this is a movie, so you underplay everything, and you know, they're just trying to be kind of cool. And
too many stars. Like Ewan McGregor was the candlestick Lumiere, and the face was just so small on that character, you can hardly. It was just like very muted expressions, and I didn't know, and like there was just weight. It was super stacked, but there was for no real reason.
Yeah,
we were starting this podcast super negatively and cynically.
These are all the things that I don't like.
Want to know what I don't like?
No, tell me some things you do like.
Oh well, I like
this drink we're having right now.
It's pretty good. I like going for walks. I like going for bike. I had a great bike ride today. I like meeting new people. That's it. I'm trying to come up with interesting things, but it's just...
This isn't any better than the other one.
No, I know. Just like, how can I be Mr. Positive Boy? But just...
I love that it's spring right now, I have to say.
Oh, that is pretty awesome. I rode my bike, and I reached up and I grabbed a cherry blossom.
Oh,
and I was like,
that's
yes!
So nice.
And I like gripped it on my handlebar. And I was like,
oh, that's nice. Yeah, Forrest was picking flowers today too. He really loves it.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm super happy for him to be picking dandelions all over the place. I'm just like, go ahead, pick all the dandelions. But it's when we get to somebody's house that they have like nice flowers,
like tulips or something.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, don't touch those. But you know, he'll do at that state right now where he's just like gonna get really upset at you if you stop him from doing things. So I'm trying to work with it. I'm trying to be like, that's a really nice flower. Yes, I know you want to touch it. Let's use one finger. Oh, don't grab it.
Isn't it because kids at this age crave boundaries, and they're testing it, and they want you to create those boundaries for them, even though it's kind of like almost pulling teeth.
Oh yeah, and he's just gonna lose it when you do draw the boundaries.
I mean, what would it be like if he was just like a good boy and all just like did what he was told? Then we just like, don't do that. And he's like, okay. Do you think maybe like eventually, like when he's a teenager, he'd be like, well, oh, I am going to touch the flowers.
I don't know. Some people are more wired to be rebellious than other people, I think. Like, I was you are. I was thinking about this today, actually. You were a very rebellious spirit and are.
No, I wasn't. Don't put me in a box like that. How dare you? I'm rebellious on my own terms.
Right. Sorry for...
if you call me rebellious, then I'm not rebellious.
Right. Sorry,
right?
I'm
That's
defining you and you're not...
Don't define me.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Rebellious.
How dare you? Just kidding. That was a joke. That was...
I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
No, because I was obedient. I was extremely obedient, which I think also some people would argue that this is like a long-standing societal thing where, you know, boys having a more rebellious spirit and girls being obedient has been something that's just been like ingrained into us genetically, into our gender roles.
Huh.
And I was very much like that. I was very obedient. And not because I like actually felt obligated to do as I was told, but because I really like peace and harmony.
You love
it. Just like things to go smoothly. I like to see how everything has order together and how smoothly we can make things go, because I love, you know, the beauty of when things all function together.
Right. I don't think that's a gender thing. Like Kevin is kind of like that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, it's just your personality. It's And there's a lot of badass rebellious girls out there.
Yeah, like our
yeah
niece Addie. Once again, we talked about her I think last podcast, but yeah, she's a very rebellious gal.
Yeah, only because I think it's just testing the boundaries, and it's just like
like we said though, like some kids are more testy than others.
Yeah.
And I would say Forrest is he's walking on the more rebellious side for sure.
Oh, right
yeah,
on.
But like it doesn't seem like, I would say thus far, he doesn't seem as rebellious as you.
No?
In nature.
Mischievous is a better word.
No, I wouldn't say he's mischievous either. I would just say he is he has his own desires and he's really driven to achieve them. And if you get in his way, he's really not going to take that very well.
Oh. And he is a very cooperative player. Like he wants to he knows what he wants. He's like, "You want to dance? We're going to dance together."
Totally.
And he loves it when we have some noisemakers with him or shake some shakers with him and get into it.
So he's quite cooperative on the group level when he wants things to go smoothly and
that's true
and function well together. But then if there's a certain thing that he wants to do, he's not going to give that up very easily.
Like walk around the grocery store.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. Today was an insane day. He's leveling up in the toddlerness.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When is it official?
He's going through a developmental leap right now. I think it's the 9th leap in his mental development where the brain does a rapid growth spurt, and he's learning it. They call it the leap of principles. So he's learning to understand boundaries and why we do things. And I don't understand this leap quite as well as I've understood the prior ones because they're just getting more complicated now.
And for those who don't know, can you explain what a leap is?
Yeah,
because this is a very new thing for me too.
For a lot of people I've talked to, actually, they don't know about this very much, but I've been learning about this through the Wonder Weeks app that I have, and it's based on a novel of the same name. And it is all about some scientific studies that showed the mental developmental leaps that babies go through in the first I think it's 2-3 years of their life. I don't know exactly how long, but every month or so they go through a new leap where their brain does this rapid growth, and at the end of it, their capacity for understanding things has leveled up.
Oh.
So there was a time where Forrest was around 4 months and he was looking at the ceiling, freaking out, and I thought, oh my gosh, there's a demon on the ceiling or something. I actually was freaking, I was terrified. But then I read in the leap that his perception of vision was actually changing through this developmental leap that he was going through. He was actually able to understand things differently, which is scary.
Yeah.
So as they go through these developmental leaps, they'll end up being fussier and clingier, and they may not sleep as well, they might not eat as well, all of these things, because it kind of rocks their world a little bit. Their understanding of the world is totally changing through this time.
It's pretty cool how accurate it is too. Following along and he's definitely in the middle of a leap, and almost to the day when he's out of it, it's he's a new baby with new skills, and his skills
just start stacking up as soon as either so cool. After a little while after the leap starts or after the leap is over. All of a sudden he just starts stacking up on all these skills.
I've noticed in this leap he's doing more complex noises like ticka 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 ticka.
Yeah.
And he uses a v v v v
Yeah.
v v v.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of he doesn't put words together, but he's very rhythmic. He's da 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 da.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of really cool. I think that's because I gibberish talk with him.
Yeah.
And I always thought that when parents did that, I was like, you're not teaching them how to talk properly if you're bibbly babbling with them and be all righteous about my opinions about it. But now I'm just this is so much fun. And why am I in such a rush to get him to talk when we can just be ba da 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 ba da da, and he's
going to talk for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Right? I was realizing today, once he starts translating his sounds, which are so funny and cute and expressive, and once he actually uses those sounds with words, it's almost going to take a little bit of the fun out of it, of guessing what's going on in his brain,
Yeah.
So, but he said shoes yesterday, and he was
what?
And he was saying it over and over again. He was shoes. And he's really happy with himself.
He's just thinking about shoes, all the different types of shoes he sees. Oh, shoes. Oh, shoes. Wow.
Just seeing how it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, and by the way, about these leap things, we'll probably post that on our website.
carlyandjohnny.com, I'll post about this Wonder Weeks app that we use, because it is really cool. Like we can we can basically find out to the day when a new leap is starting.
It's very cool, and if you haven't done it yet and you're a new parent, I recommend it because it actually is a great way to have a little bit more compassion for your babe.
That's a huge point, actually. I feel like parenting, I've really realized, can be supremely frustrating at times. And something that like is a bit of medicine for that is understanding a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like when all of a sudden your kid is acting nuts, or like they're clinging to your ankles and you just don't understand why, or all of a sudden, you know, your baby's needing a nurse all through the night. If you understand that they're going through this developmental leap all of a sudden and their whole world is being rocked right now, and to remember what it felt like as a kid to just feel really afraid or just like really unsettled or unstable.
I imagine
all you need is your parent to just like be a really steady place for you, and to always welcome you with love and understanding rather than annoyance, you know? And I have to remind myself of that sometimes.
Yeah. But it's okay to let yourself get a little bit crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I imagine it's the experience is similar to like culture shock. So going to like a new place that's just like, I remember going to Egypt, and that was I think the one real experience of culture shock I had was everything was different. The writing was different. And it was like, I was 16 years old, and it was like a bit alarming, and you're feeling like, and I remember cause they do a call to prayer at like every few hours. So the first night I was there was like the cats, because there's cats everywhere, and they started screaming like,
oh my
like
gosh,
babies, like the crying babies.
What?
Like in the streets, and then they'd have like these old megaphones on all of these mosques around, being like, and it was like, where am I? And
that's
it was like,
super
it was
creepy.
so like, I felt very like in shock and like really. So I imagine that would like probably times 10 be like a baby, but you're just like, what am I experiencing? And it could be like a new sound or like a new color or new understanding, like a shape.
Yeah,
and so
totally.
at first, while you're going through it, must be pretty unsettling.
Absolutely. Yeah. I and what you were saying about, you know, us kind of needing to be reminded about these things so that we don't get too frustrated because things can get crazy. Last week was nuts because there was a night where this hasn't happened before. And, you know, we've talked about not getting much sleep a lot. And you hear parents talk about it all the time. But last week was nuts because Forrest actually throughout the entire night, we just kept going through this cycle of like, okay, well, he's awake right now and he needs help going back to sleep. So he's nursing on one side, but that's not working. So he's trying the other side, and then he's trying a different position and a different position. And we just go through this like song and dance. And then finally he seems to get into a position that's working for him, and he starts to drift off to sleep for maybe like 20 minutes. And I'm waiting for him to be asleep enough so I can just get into my own position and be comfortable. And all of a sudden he goes, Dada. And then he's awake again. And we go through this whole cycle again. Oh, this boob, that boob, this position, that position. And it went all freaking night. He didn't sleep. Like,
and that was also at the time.
He maybe slept like 20 minutes at a time, and I didn't sleep because I'm always staggered from when he has fallen asleep, and then I slowly start to fall asleep too. But by the time I'm starting to fall asleep, he's woken up again. So it just went all night.
That sounds like hell.
But the crazy thing is, that night I somehow managed to be quite like patient and compassionate with him. So I didn't get mad, and it was always just like, wow, he's really having a crazy night. Okay. So, you know, I just like stuck with him on it. And then the next night, I think, okay, so that night happened and I was calm. But when Forrest woke up for good that morning, I was like, Johnny, you need to take a personal day because I need to actually sleep if I'm going to function today.
But on top of that, I was also knee deep in editing a music video.
Yeah, you were up
and so
late.
I was up till 2 a.m, like 3 days in a row.
Yeah. It was bad timing, like our son to just choose a few nights to. I shouldn't say choose. He's a baby and he's not doing this deliberately.
Like, I think I'm gonna not sleep tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Can't believe you.
And we treat him sometimes like it's his choice. Like, how could you do this?
I know. To us? We need to remember we're not victims to our baby choosing to do mean things to us.
You remember having a restless night? That sucks.
It does suck. Yeah.
I remember being a kid, and I have distinct memories of waiting outside my parents' door and be like, I can't sleep, Mom. I can't do it. And it was agony. It's not nearly as bad as it like not being able to sleep now.
Yeah.
Like not being able to sleep now sucks, but I can let my mind run into all these different places. But as a kid, you're just like, I don't know how to sleep. Am I ever going to sleep again? It's like it's scary.
Totally. And that feeling of everybody being asleep except you. I remember that being really scary when I was terrifying. A kid. Mm-hmm.
I would have these dreams it's kind of in the same vein. My nightmares would always be the same thing. Some monster's coming and we're in our house and I'm trying to find a hiding place, but all my family members, they already have the best hiding places. And I would see them and I would be like, help, help. And they'd just look at me and they wouldn't say anything. They'd just be staring back at me and be like, ah. Oh. And then I'd go to the next hiding place. My mom's like in the closet and she's just like, doesn't say a word, just like very still looking at me.
How old were you when you were?
I don't know, young, but I remember that so clearly. But I don't think it was like a closet. It was super dream like it was like in a barrel. Or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, on that topic, apparently I don't know where I heard this. I think Anthony Jeselnik said this today on a podcast with Duncan Trussell. That it's apparently not good to remember your dreams because that's your brain kind of sorting out certain things,
right? And
to kind of like let you kind of release it. So by like keeping dream journals, it's not necessarily good for you
because you're hanging on to it too much.
Yeah.
So maybe it's okay to remember them, I imagine, but it's not okay to like dwell on them too much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What you're talking about, I remember you telling me about this dream before, and what you're talking about makes me think of. Remember when we were discussing what it was like, what are we doing to our kid when he's screaming, crying in the car and we aren't doing anything about it? We're not stopping to help him, or you're letting a baby cry it out for long periods of time. And I feel like it's something like that feeling where
they don't understand that we're going somewhere. That's like, how would they know that?
Totally. All they know is that nobody is helping them. Like, this isn't a safe place for them right now. For some reason, you're trying to go and find a hiding spot and you keep finding people that normally would be helpful to you and would love you and provide you with support, but they're just staring back at you like, sorry, I'm not going to help you. And that's a scary feeling.
It's incredibly scary.
Yeah. Man, when I was a kid though, I remember when my nightmares started, and it was kind of around the time when my parents, I started to really feel some discord between my parents because my parents separated when I was 9 or 10. And I just remember I remember when I asked my Mom, did you lock the doors? And I was starting to get scared about robbers.
Oh man.
And I would check that all, and we had a huge house, so there was like 5 different doors that go to outside. So it was always like, are all the doors locked? And then I'm having dreams about these robbers climbing in through my window, and they're climbing on the ceilings.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and it was, but when I think back now to if this is how I think of dreams, it's like, don't take it literally, but what was the feeling that you had there, and what could you compare it to that you were actually having in your life at that time? And it was this unsettling feeling of something foreign creeping in and threatening the stability of my home.
Wow. And
threatening the warmth and the safety of this place that I knew.
Things crawling on the ceiling too. That's a special type of terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having dreams of that too. I think I watched Buffy this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer at my grandparents', which I wasn't allowed to watch. And there were like these hyena people. It's so stupid. Like they would laugh and eat you.
What?
And then I would have dreams about
Buffy.
I would have dreams about these hyena people crawling through the windows, crawling on the ceiling.
That's creepy.
It's terrifying. It's such a scary thing. Maybe that's what Forrest saw when he's on the.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, that was the room that Addie saw that ghost, that imaginary.
That was also the room that there was that horrible, horrible nightmare I had when I was pregnant. But we're just throat gurgle. But we're not going to go there because it was the worst nightmare.
You had You had it in that room?
Kind of. We were still living downstairs, but it was that section of the house.
Was it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You had it in the office?
The dream of like this demon. Yeah, it was in that section of the house. Like we were living downstairs, and the layout of downstairs is kind of similar to the layout upstairs. And it was that vicinity of our house that the dream was.
What, you were napping in the office?
No, in the dream where the demon was in that room.
Oh, so you weren't physically in that room?
No. But I don't even want to talk about this because that was way too freaky, and it doesn't feel real anymore. And I'm not gonna let it feel real again.
Why do I feel so drawn to talk about these things? I'm just like I've always loved talking about spooky stories.
Yeah,
it's my
I
favorite
used
thing
to
do.
I don't know what changed for me, but I'm not into it anymore at all.
It's just like the feeling I have is kind of like this, like a little bit of anxious, like ooh. Like
not when it comes to demons. If it's talking about like scary dreams, and like aliens and stuff like that. But as soon as it comes to the paranormal type of stuff, not into it. Maybe that's what it was. When I saw oh shoot. Man, we talk about this stuff and Forrest starts to wake up every time.
About spooky stuff?
Yeah. Hang on.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think I gotta go in there.
Oh man.
Dang it.
And it's just as we started talking about something spoopy.
Wait. Oh yeah, I gotta go in there. Okay.
We'll pause for now, and we'll be back in 3, 2, and we're back.
We made it.
So
my gosh.
Did you see any ghosts or anything?
No, I was creeped out for a little bit. We're not going to talk about that stuff anymore.
Well, we are talking. Okay, yeah, we're done.
I was going to say, though, I feel like you could make a drinking game out of this podcast.
Really?
Like every time we say sleep, you take a drink. And if Forrest wakes up, then you finish your drink, no matter how full it is.
Oh, man, brutal. You get pretty drunk.
I think so.
That reminds me, when I was in Vietnam, a common thing that they do while you drink, and this happened in multiple locations, is say 100%, and then you have to finish your drink, and they do that so much.
That's so funny. It's like in Cambodia, they also had a word for finish your drink.
What was it?
Oh, did they?
Was it 100%?
Yeah, no, it was like chul moi, except it was chul something.
Oh, something like that.
Something along those lines. But my point is that we don't have a term in our drinking culture that you say a word and everybody has to finish. There's nothing like that, unless it's a drinking game.
Yeah. Well, we should come up with that. Maybe what your cheers in, you're just like
bottoms up.
Yeah. That
yeah,
is,
but it's not really. But it's not like a.
That is. I would say that classifies as.
No, not really though, because in those cultures, like in Vietnam and in Cambodia, it's pretty much permeates the country's drinking culture, where you're constantly every night people are saying that thing and finishing their drinks.
100%.
Yeah,
it's like whoa.
Yeah, we don't. It's not like out in a bar, everybody's always saying bottoms up, and then everybody has to finish.
Maybe I bet there is. We're just not immersed in drinking culture.
I don't believe it.
I bet there's different...
Prove it. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, but you know what? I wanted to say and go back to something because since you interrupted me with one of your tangents, which is part of the reason I love you.
And you love it.
Yeah. But no, there was a thing I wanted to finish. So the night that Forrest was up all night and, I managed to have a lot of patience and compassion for him that night. But then the following night, it wasn't all night, but it was part of the night. And I did not have as much patience. I really wonder what the difference is. Like, why one night when he's up all night long, I'm just able to like keep it really cool and just be concerned about his well-being, and then the next night I'm just like losing my mind a little bit. Like I'm at one point I just like shoved him onto the bed a little more rough than I probably should have. Not that like it hurt him or anything, but it was just not loving.
Yeah.
And just went like, go to sleep.
Oh,
and then I was like, I have to leave the room right now. Like I am not. And you were gone at this time.
I was just about to go to bed. I remember.
No, you were this was one of the times that I lost my mind. No, I came out and you weren't here because you were driving Kevy home.
Oh, geez.
Mm-hmm. And so, what was that?
I don't know. I put I held the microphone in a different way.
Yeah.
I won't do that anymore.
No, you can't do that anymore. But yeah, like, I think in that instance, it was that nothing I was doing was working at all. And he was starting to cry about it. And I think there's something about when he's crying about something, it just makes me feel more urgent that I have to fix it. And nothing was working, and I'd been trying for a long time and nothing was working. And yeah, it just, at a certain point, I just lost it.
Huh.
But you know what's great is I was telling this to our sister-in-law Mallory on the weekend, who's also a mom, and she's on her second kid, who's 7 months now, Milo, and she's like, oh my gosh, like I have so many stories like that, and I've talked to other moms about it, and they have their stories.
What was Mallory's story in particular?
Mallory's story was that recently she ripped off a couple of rungs off her bed because she's like, this isn't working, and
she's just like wow.
But you know what?
Must be very satisfying to do that though. Because it's like the rungs. Wait, what does it mean, rungs off her bed? I'm trying to imagine
that's what she said, but I didn't quite understand what that means. I feel like I need to see the bed to understand.
Rung. What's a rung?
Rungs are like, you know what rungs are, like rungs of a ladder, but it could also be like up and down, you know, like on, maybe it's their headboard that has like rungs. I'm not sure.
Rungs it's not like multiple rings?
No, maybe there was like no, they wouldn't have a bedside rail or anything.
No. Huh.
But yeah, and so talking to a bunch of other moms, we all have these stories where we kind of lost our minds a little bit, because this is mainly always has to do with sleep deprivation, where you're just, and the crazy thing is, this is how it works, is you're so deprived of sleep because your kid is so deprived of sleep. And so they're also grumpy. So they're going to be acting out even more during the day, and you're so dead tired that you just don't have the patience to deal with their shit. So that's how it all begins. That's how the shitstorm happens. So maybe that's why the second night I didn't have as much patience, because I was going on like 3 hours sleep from the like morning before.
Do you think after all of these experiences, you will come out of it a more patient person overall? Because I remember I'll
have tools. I'll definitely have more tools on how to deal with things, but I'm still honestly working on those tools. Like talking to my sister and being like, how do I get patience in these times when I like really like I feel violence welling in me, and I know how to keep violence from coming out, and I know that other moms can relate to this as well, where you're just like, I could flip a table right now, you know, and you'd never actually direct it towards your child or like lose control of yourself, but you feel violent because you're so tired and you're so frustrated, and it's freaky. You don't want to have these feelings,
these animalistic urges coming out.
Totally.
Oh geez.
But so that's why I'm just like,
I felt that for sure.
Somebody help me figure out how to get patience.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, so what I would want to do sometime here is I'm thinking I'm going to interview a bunch of different moms about times that they have totally lost their cool, like great stories, and compile them into an episode.
I wonder if there's any stories that just like the person changes a little bit, like it was like a little, they watered it down. They're like, okay, I got this story, but that's too intense. I don't want people knowing that I have this kind of monster inside of me.
Totally. Well, I could see why. It's freaky.
Yeah, it is freaky. The side of you that comes out that you didn't know.
You know it.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I think we both intervened with each other before, being like, let me take our son away from you right now.
Just like you're holding him and you're squeezing his leg a little bit. Just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you're just getting so frustrated. And I feel like there's something that needs to be said here, though, is that it's never actually directed at Forrest in a way that's like we think he's being a jerk or he is, you know, like we're fighting him or something. It's just more like, it's more that we are just so frustrated at this situation right now. Mm-hmm. And we're not like, I mean, I feel mad at him, but not in like a fundamental way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know that while you're being mad at him, you know, like you're helpless. You can't, you don't.
Totally.
This isn't your fault, but your brain wants it to be their fault. So you can just kind of put it all on them.
Totally.
Because you have nothing left.
But we're the adults. We're the ones that need to keep control of ourselves.
Yeah. But sometimes I feel like a bigger baby than the baby. For sure. 100%.
Yeah, we're still human.
Yeah.
But yeah, patience. I'm still working on it. But I think you're right. At the end of all of this, I'm going to have many more tools in my toolbox to be patient. But you know what? I had a thought today, though, because Forrest leveled up in the toddlerness so much today. He was so busy. It's like all of the things that he's ever played with before or done before, he doesn't want to do those things anymore. Only new things, including like getting into all of the plants. And like we went to the grocery store today. He didn't want to sit in the cart anymore. All he wanted to do was run around the aisles. And I'm like, I did like a $200 grocery shop, and
What?
he is.
You didn't get my approval to spend that kind of money.
Oh, Johnny, please don't get mad.
You need to go through me every time you spend more than $100.
Well, let me look at the books here.
That's the controlling relationship we have. Just kidding.
But yeah, he was just running around the store and just so crazy today. So crazy. So anyway, I mean, I don't exactly know how to describe how crazy he was today. All I can say is that I've never seen him like this before, and it scares me a little bit because I've been telling myself that things are going to get easier soon. And then today made me go, no, they're going to get harder.
Yeah, I think we have a good 3 years until things start getting easier. Somebody at work once told me that there's this window there's like the glory years, and that's between 4 and 13. And like between then, it's like they're just, kids generally are just really responsive and wonderful, and like they're obedient, and they're learning new things, and they want to learn new things. But once they become a teenager, it's like they become a toddler again.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Yeah, they
just want to act out and test boundaries and define themselves. And
yeah, I was definitely became a toddler. I still feel like a toddler sometimes, especially when I was at my parents' house, and I was catching myself while I was doing things, and I was like, oh, this is something that Forrest would do. Like I remember.
Opening all the cupboards, just leaving them open as you like search for
cupboards.
Food.
Yeah, and just to open up the cupboards. I remember at one point my mom was going through like the Tupperware drawer, and she's finding something, and all I was doing was just like, messing around with the Tupperware while she's doing it. She's like, get out of here.
And you're actually being, but the thing is, you're actually being mischievous. Like you're not just doing it because you're a toddler exploring new things. You're just like,
it's weird when that side comes out of me, because it feels like, it's like, is it Jekyll and Hyde, or is that the
two-faced doctor?
Yeah. I feel like there's like a side of me that comes out, where I know that it's just like, this is just inconveniencing the other person, but I'm like, like, I don't know. Like, for instance,
I think you just got hooked on that feeling.
Yeah, my parents brought out these chocolates left over from Easter, and they're like, we're not eating sugar anymore. And then I was just so compelled to just say, I'm going to do this crazy Easter egg hiding, like Easter egg hunt. And in my mind, I'm like, this is so funny. I'm going to hide chocolates all around the house. And I did. I just like walked around, and my dad's like, don't do that. And,
your mom was like, Johnny, no, it's gonna be there for too long, and then it's gonna melt, and it's gonna be so hard to clean off.
It's not gonna melt.
It's like in places where
she
can't even reach. No. You really left them out there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna be there for years, and you just wasted a bunch of chocolate. That's where my mind goes.
It wasn't that great chocolate, but I would just be like, take handfuls and be like, okay, I'm gonna put it in this pot.
Put them on the top of like picture frames.
Yeah.
And like candle sconces that are above your mom's reach.
Yeah, I felt really bad, but then like something that brings me a little bit of joy.
You felt really bad.
I
did.
Right. Well,
as you're doing it, you're like, oh man.
And that sounds crazy, but kind of. It's
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do this.
It's just like I gotta hide these chocolates everywhere. And I don't know why it's funny. Gosh. It's not funny in retrospect. I just think of moments in the future, like in a couple of years, it's like, how did this get? Or like,
there's another one. Jeez,
and just like
Johnny.
so many, like, and it's like putting like 10 of them in this jar that I was like, they're not like above the in the bathroom. There's like 3 alabaster jars. Just like put a whole bunch of them in those jars, and they won't ever look at them.
You never know how that could wreck shit, though.
I hope not.
But that's the thing, though. Like that's
why I
won't.
I didn't think about that.
That's why I wouldn't do stuff like that. Is because, or like, imagine like Forrest gets into that, and now he's got like a chocolate wrapped in tinfoil in his mouth. Yeah,
but no, it was all out of reach. And it's like, oh man, I don't know why I do that kind of stuff. It's a shithead thing to do.
It is. You
and
definitely
it comes
are
out
like,
at my parents' house. It for sure comes out at my parents' house.
Okay, let's talk about the shift of shitheadedness that you. So, like percentage-wise, what would you say overall you are shitheadedness?
What's different in every scenario? Sometimes 0%. I'm just Mr. Responsible, and I will kind of give people shit for no. I'm not like that. Let me really think about that. I'm becoming more comfortable I get, the more of the shitheadedness comes out. like we had a work meeting outside and I was just like throwing little twigs at everybody. It's just like in a funny way. And like, we're going to report you to HR. And I was like, good. Don't do it. You better not. And I like, keep throwing.
They were joking, right?
Just, I don't know.
You're just going to get yourself in
Could
trouble.
Could you imagine if I'm just like joking around and they're like, Johnny was throwing twigs at me.
This is the thing though.
Sad.
That's so funny. I love that you lighten the mood with things like that. Sometimes you take it too far.
It is in that situation. It's just like these tiny.
No, yeah, you're just having fun.
And they're just like.
Sometimes you take it too far, and I've seen it where like your mom is so sweet that she will always just be, no, Johnny, but she's never actually going to come down hard on you. Like in my family, when we say stop, that's when we've reached our threshold, and now it's time for you to stop.
Yeah, we get that.
But your mom, she'll just, don't, and you just keep on going and keep on going, and there's like no actual like safety word. There's no cacao, There's no like. There's what is that?
I'm working on it. I'm gonna work on it. I feel like I've gotten better.
But you've gotten way better. Actually,
it's weird though that like when it clicked this last time we were at my parents' house. Over the weekend, I was like, I'm a toddler right now. I'm like toddler brained. I'm just moving on to the next thing. It's like when I'm my strategy for when everybody's cleaning up, and I want to be like, I'm lazy. I don't want to clean up. This is classic. Use this if and you just like pick up stuff and put it down. So you just like walk around and you're just like, okay, and then like okay.
Oh my gosh, I've totally seen you do that at home.
And then just like, okay, I have a plate, and I'm just like, pick this up, move it over to the left, put it down. You're not cleaning up. You're just moving things around. You don't have to make any like cleaning decisions or anything. You're just
my suspicions have been so confirmed right now.
Here we go. Move this over here. Yep. Take this cord and move it over there now. Okay.
How many times have I been like busy in the kitchen cleaning up after dinner and been like, Johnny, are you doing anything? But like you've been busy for like the past 10 minutes with me, but like I don't think you've actually done anything.
Yeah, I don't know. And most of the time, if I were to be honest, oh man, I'm coming across as such a shithead.
You're fessing up though. That's a good thing.
I am fessing up, and it's so funny though, because when it's just me, I'm just like, okay, productive. Let's clean up. Let's do it. And I can be like I can surprise myself with how much of a Mr. Clean Boy I can be.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
But when it's like, I don't know, it's like,
about ownership.
I'm kind of like daydreaming too. Like I'm kind of like, it's toddler stuff.
Yeah. Well, but I do think it comes down to ownership, because I was thinking about this to myself today. When I take more ownership for, it's usually like domestic stuff, household things, or getting stuff done. If I feel like we are sharing those duties, then I won't actually take as much ownership. And then I'll just like nag you because we, pick up the slack so we can get these things done. But if I just take the ownership of it, then it gets done. Yeah.
I wish I could crack this code, but whenever it's like, oh, I should do something right now, like getting up earlier than normal, or like just like clean up the house just because, not because somebody's coming over, or not because it's like the last possible moment of sanity before you go crazy of this mess. But when like the office has been a disaster for a while, when we moved it and when we moved rooms, and it wasn't until I had people coming over for an edit that I was like, okay, I'm gonna organize it, and it was just like 20 minutes, and it looks great. And it's like I just make these decisions where I'm just like, this goes here, okay, bump, boom, 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 and it's I'm not even thinking about it. But if it's like a retroactive thing where I'm like, ooh, okay, now let's take some time to get the office because that's gonna make me feel better. Yeah, I'll just sit and be like, I don't know, I don't know what to do, and then I'll just like put something on and be like, okay, I'll just watch something while I clean up, and then just be like, oh,
and then it doesn't happen. I know. How do we activate ourselves to really take ownership for something and make it happen?
That's the hardest thing. That's why I have so many unfinished projects, which is why I'm so grateful that I'm a working professional, whereas like there are deadlines constantly, and there are I'm forced to finish things because the stakes are all of a sudden higher, and the higher the stakes, the better I perform as well, right? And the more satisfying it is. But it's just so dumb that it has to do with money, or like has deadlines. Or why can't I just be like, oh, I want to accomplish this thing? and then I do it.
It needs to be, but I think that we need to be needed. We need our skills to be needed. And that's what these deadlines that come from money.
But why can't you do that for yourself? Why can't you be like your own accountability?
Well, I think it probably goes back to when we were functioning in communities or tribes where we were a functioning part of a bigger group. And I think that we still need that. So whether that comes in the form of, an actual community that you have, or people that you make promises to that you really take ownership for that promise, or if it's actually a job that pays you, we still need to have those skills needed by other people in order to get activated.
And why can't we do that for each other? Because most of the time when we bring it up with each other, we're like, no, you don't have to use that tone of voice. You know what I mean?
Totally, we get so touchy.
We're just like, well, can you clean up? And you're like, I
was on it. I was gonna get there.
I was gonna do it. You don't have to just use that tone of voice. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's always about the tone of voice.
But then like people are about to come over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can already hear their not their judgment, but it's just like I have to.
It's just about the impression.
Why can't we get it for each other? Why can't we be like, oh, Carly would love it if I clean the bathroom?
I think that it still comes down to needing to do it for ourselves and taking ownership.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, you know what really resonated with me? It was on our drive home from Kelowna this weekend. My mom brought up the Bible verse, Proverbs 12:18 or something. I don't know. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Did you just come up with that? Proverbs 12:18.
No, I was actually thinking about, because I really like that quote. It feels like it resonates with me, and I would love to have it hanging on our wall. I looked it up today. Yeah, because I was thinking it'd be cool to put that up on our wall right where I see it when I wake up, because I'm a very visual, not visual person, but once I have a goal in mind that I've really envisioned what my goal is, that's when I get really activated to make it happen. And I think that that's kind of what I've been lacking lately. And sometimes in my life, it gets to that point where I'm just floating a little bit and reacting to things that happen in my life. And I'm not actually setting goals and dreaming up goals and visions of what I want to happen. And if I just spend a little bit of time, instead of being on my phone while I'm nursing Forrest and checking my Facebook or, up in my Pinterest board.
Do you do that? Do you use Pinterest?
I did today for this exact purpose of finding some word art for my wall. But anyway, but if I just spend some more time envisioning things that I want to happen in my life and setting goals based on those dreams and visions, that activates me. And I want to make that a thing in my life all the time. So
I feel like I've done that, but not in a physical way. And it's kind of coming true. It was just kind of I was like, I want this so bad. Or no, it was more of a decision, but I didn't. Maybe creating a mood board would be more helpful.
I mean, it can be a mood board, but it could just be in your mind or in your heart, a feeling of what you want. So
by the way,
not talking about the type of house I want is a house on a lake with wood beams, that's not the type of vision I mean. Is, that could be though. Sure.
I had that vision. I really wanted to live in a top floor of a house, really nice, in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. I knew we couldn't afford it. And I was just I almost I was distraught over it.
I remember that.
When we had to live in a basement suite, and it was super petty. I was just I don't want to live in a dark basement suite. No. Mm-hmm. And it's and then we hear about those friends who get those special deals.
Yeah.
Or they get jealous. You know what I mean? And I'm just and then it was finally until I was you know what? I'm just gonna accept my living quarters, and we just spend some time making it look awesome. And then we got the news. It's we're moving upstairs. And then we saw upstairs and we're this is a crazy house.
Yeah.
And now I feel so fortunate. By the way, I want to say the verse that you did say,
12:18,
the words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing.
Oh my gosh. I'm both. My reckless words were wrong about what the
Bible verse was. But this verse actually is wise, and it's healing me. I feel healed.
Oh, that's good. I do like that verse actually. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Proverbs, man.
That's a great old book. That's probably the only book of the Bible I've actually really read.
Really? I haven't
more than once.
Read what?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was a Bible thumper, as they say, the one part of the Bible that I thumped the most was Proverbs.
Really?
Yeah, I thumped it all the time.
Oh my goodness, you were a Bible thumper?
Well, just Proverbs.
Right.
It's just like it's just like really good
They're
parables.
like, oh, watch, Johnny's going to bring up a Bible verse and it's going to be Proverbs.
Yeah, here, let's type in a random
That's
number,
funny.
random 2 numbers, and then I promise it'll be something cool. And like, cause it's never like dogma, like this and that. It's just like wise words you can ponder. And that's why I like Proverbs. Like, give me random
20,
22.
Yeah. 14.
14. Let's see what it is. The mouth of an adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. What?
That is a riddle.
The mouth of an adulterous
That also
woman
sounds kind of erotic.
is a deep. I want you to read it because you're better.
The
at
mouth
reading.
of an adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into
Let's
it.
deconstruct this a little bit. So the mouth of an adulterous woman. So it's like a woman who cheats on her man, or like a prostitute, or like what's an adulterous woman?
An adulterous woman would be a woman who cheats on her husband.
And her mouth is a deep pit. So like the words that she says.
Yeah, I would say
like,
probably.
Maybe
that's
this
what
is just
means.
like maybe. Okay, so a man who is under the Lord's wrath. So like God is mad at this dude, and then you're gonna just like fall into her deep pit of a mouth. So you're just gonna be swayed by her words. So if God's mad at you, the adulterous woman's gonna be like,
better watch out. You're gonna be a victim to a siren.
Do you want to have sex? And then you're gonna be like, yes. And then you're like, God's mad at me.
I feel like God would be mad about that.
Yeah, but it's just like you're. Oh.
But honestly, this is all new territory for me. I've never actually tried to deconstruct a Bible verse.
Okay, give me 2. Let's try it. Give me 2 more numbers.
Okay, how about Proverbs 10:24?
Proverbs 10:24. The wicked dread. What the wicked dread will overtake them. What the righteous desire will be granted. Huh.
What the wicked dread will overtake them. What the righteous desire will be. Hey, that's like what we were talking about. It's
exactly
like the vision.
What we were talking about. Yeah. That's like the secret kind of stuff. If you just focus on like the bad shit in your life, it'll probably just get worse. But but what the righteous
pretty
desire,
wise.
See, this is what I like about Proverbs. It's not like, and then God said this, or or stories. It's just kind of like, hey,
stuff to make you think.
Think about this. You want to learn about a adulterous woman's pit mouth and how you can fall into it. Man, that would be that. I feel like that would be like a crazy album cover.
Totally.
If you were to draw that, just like this crazy adulterous, like woman, and like this man's falling into it, and God's there being like
Definitely.
Like a metal album cover or something.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Like, I want to keep doing this.
You still want to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more.
Let's do 2:30.
Okay.
Is that even no? Results not found. Oh shoot, I don't even know the Bible this well. 2:10. You read it.
For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul.
Ooh.
That sounds awesome.
That's great.
You guys,
Man,
all you students
great.
All you students going to university this year, you know what? This one's for you.
Yeah. And it's I've remembered just hearing people talk about like comparing wisdom with knowledge, and just like wisdom is what you want. And like knowledge is just like in your head, but wisdom is but this is cool. This is like it's both great. These are both they're
win-win.
Both different win-win. Mm-hmm. Man, we're really Bible thumping right now.
I don't know if we are though, because we're just taking something that
what does Bible thumping mean? Is Bible thumping when you're thumping other people with your Bible, or when you're thumping it on your head?
You're thumping it like right here in this book. It says.
You think it's that? Like you're thumping it with your finger?
Yeah.
I've always thought it was just like people hitting themselves over the head.
What?
Yeah, like Bible thumper. Like whoa.
That's hilarious. No.
Probably from what's the Monty Python Holy Grail?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Is that really what it's called?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it?
Is it the Search for the Holy Grail?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, but there's a religious people who hit themselves over the head.
Oh. And that's why you're thinking of that. That's funny.
That's probably where I get it from.
Totally.
One more.
Yeah.
One more. Let's
Bible
get some
thumping
more
is
wisdom.
like when you're like thumping your and the word says and you're just always thumping on
Right.
it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like that one. You
Which
don't
one?
thump with your finger.
What? Yeah, you do. Listen to this.
Thump, 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 thump. Is
Yeah.
that maybe because we have microphones and it sounds like a thump, but like.
If you had a big book,
But like
it's
the word
a thump sound.
like onomatopoeia is like thump. It's like a dropping book. Like wait, your finger can't produce a thump.
No, are you thinking about
a
hard?
finger is like a tap.
Not
It's
necessarily.
Like I feel like putting your finger on the Bible, that's like a Bible tapper.
No.
Or Bible pointer. Like a Bible thumper is like you're thumping that Bible.
No, for sure. I know what you're
like
saying.
I meant like a fist.
No,
Oof,
that was a
loud.
bang.
Bible bangers.
I just want to say you can thump a Bible with your finger.
I
Yes.
disagree.
No,
this
because
is where we are totally in disagreement.
well, let's just continue exploring this for a
Okay.
second. Are you thinking of like a paperback Bible? Or are you thinking
Either-
of a
either way.
hardback?
Yeah, either
Hardback?
way.
But okay, maybe we need to get like a thick book that's like
There's a
that's
book right
like
there.
a Bible. That's not a thick book. That's a magazine.
What? Okay, just no. Get that
What we
book
need
right there.
is like
Get that book right there.
That's not thick enough. You need a hardback thick book because that is a thumping sound. I've
we
heard
gotta
it.
get it. You want to go in the
I'm gonna-
bedroom and grab it?
No, I'll find a book. Hang on. Okay, so this isn't as thick as a Bible, but I can prove that a Bible thumps. Or
Okay.
a book thumps even without it being as thick as a Bible.
Okay, go for it.
Can you let me in? Okay. I'm gonna put this here.
But that's the outside of it.
No, I'm not talking about the book being open.
But why would you be pointing to the book with
These
your
are peop-
fingers that's not open?
Let's be clear. Bible thumpers are people who have memorized their things and are talking about it says here in the word, and then
Really?
they say there. Yeah.
Let's just like pick it up in your hand and do that.
What?
That's not a thump.
That's a
That's a
thump.
tap. This is a thump.
Sounds exactly the same.
No, it does not sound the
Yes.
same.
It doesn't sound the same because it's your head that you're hitting. This is a really stupid argument.
I don't
think.
agree with you. I'm completely. We
This is
just
a
have to.
thump.
That is not a thump. That's a tap.
You know what? I guess onomatopoeia really translates differently to people.
Well, you know what? You're wrong. So I think.
Johnny, you fight dirty.
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Wow! Ouch.
Yeah.
This is your family
I'm
does this
offended.
though.
I'm
You guys all
offended.
argue like you are totally pitted against each other. I'm just trying to work on a truth together.
Right, but it's a lie. It's not true. I feel so. I'm very. Yeah. Anyways.
Wow, you get really dirty when
Two
you.
more Bible verses.
Two more?
We're gonna do our birthdays.
Oh, okay.
05, 22.
Mm-hmm.
This is my birthday. The evil deeds of the wicked ensnare them. The cords of their sins hold them fast. What? I feel like you need to read that.
The evil deeds of the wicked ensnare them. The cords of their sins hold them fast.
How do you interpret that?
It sounds to me like when you do a lot of bad things, it's going to kind of like it's going to bind you. Like you're going to be less mobile and easy to move. You know what I interpret that as you're just going to be wrapped up in your own crap. The more wicked stuff you do, the more kind of like bad feelings you're going to have that hold you down.
Right. Cool. All right. Yeah, that's totally transferable. That's This is why I like Proverbs. So let's do your birthday. 09 26. See, I remembered your birthday.
Good
You proud of
job.
me?
Yeah, better than my dad does.
No. No, you don't have any verse.
Totally makes sense.
Let's do it in reverse.
Oh, okay, one more, and then let's
20.
move on.
I'm just like, my mom would be so proud. Okay, I did in reverse. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. What?
I think that the Bible's telling you to stop quoting it.
Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool.
That's
what?
hilarious.
What does that mean?
Well, I think when you're quoting Proverbs foolishly, you're going to have a thorn bush in your drunk hand, and it's...
But it's a proverb. And it's like in the Proverbs, like we're reading...
I think we're just like wading through really murky water here right now. And I just really don't know what any of this means.
Weird.
Okay, but you know what I want to talk about is how this sounds really...
Are you not going to come up with a clever segue? Is this something completely different?
Totally different.
I think you should come up with a segue.
Okay. No, not going to happen.
You're normally so good at segues.
I know, but I just can't do it. And I want to get away from this stupid proverb topic. I'm so bored with it now.
Okay, yeah. Right,
okay, but and this was something I was thinking about earlier, is the fact that spring is here, and I'm really excited because Forrest is now at the age where he can just like play in the yard while I do a bit of gardening, and that sounds really boring, I know, but I've been wanting to
sound as boring
get my
as
hands in the dirt and spending time outside. I agree. So anyway, but what I'm gonna do, last year I had all of these like great plans. I was gonna like plant a bunch of food items. Like that you pick up at the grocery store. No, I was gonna plant some
maybe
food
cucumbers,
plants, things like that.
Maybe
but this year,
tomatoes.
I'm not so ambitious. This year, I'm just going to fix a problem that our downstairs neighbor has been having. With they've got these windows that it's like the brightest part of their house are these windows that are south facing, and they're right underneath us. And outside of those windows is like a big garden area that doesn't really have anything in it. And so our cat has just been pooping directly outside of these windows that are otherwise like a beautiful source of light for them. And it's a nice view of our front yard. And then there's Willow just like kind of like
just pooping, looking down at them, watching them.
Oh my gosh. I feel so bad that they've been going through that for so long. So I'm going to put some soil down, and I'm going to plant maybe some lavender bushes or something and I just imagine
what
Willow
if that makes Willow just want to poop there more?
Well, there's not going to be space for her to do that because there's going to be things that are in the soil already. She's not going to be able to.
She might find a way.
She might find like a tiny little patch that she goes to do, and she's just going to be looking around like, oh, who put this here? This is so inconvenient. Like I hardly have any space to poop.
I think you'd have to really densely pack that garden, because I'm thinking of gardens and I'm like, I could poop in most gardens.
Well, okay, think about like
a cat is like, they can poop. Cats can poop in pretty small places, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but they don't want to poop on top of a bunch of vines.
No,
so
thorns
that's
and
basically
vines.
What I'm going to be planting there.
All right.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that's a funnier sight. You just like look at this beautiful garden and there's a cat pooping. So if it doesn't work, at least we've added to the humor a little bit. We've like kind of made it a little bit nicer for them.
A little
to
nicer
watch.
to look at. Yeah. There's other things for them to look at other than just this cat.
Like, oh man, because that'd be a funny visual if you're just like panning. You're like, oh, and he's like this flower and like lavender, and then just like this cat looking at you, just taking a big dump.
I had one of those, like, what's that song, an old classical song that like there's the birds chirping in the blue skies, do 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 do,
yeah,
do 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 do, and then there's the cat just taking a big dump,
wide-eyed, just like scared. Oh man,
I have to say though, cats pooping is, I prefer, if I was gonna have to watch a pet poop, like between a cat and a dog, I'd rather watch a cat poop, because like making eye contact with a dog when it's pooping is just really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like it,
because they kind of have like a grunting look on their face, and they kind of like their eyebrows are moving a little bit,
and they're kind of like, get this out of me. It's like, what am I in? Right, they're tripping out. It feels like when they're pooping. The cat, if it looks like when I say dog, they're just like, what's happening? Oh, get it out. Yeah. I think a bird though, like a bird would be the least, because they don't even know. They don't even look like they're doing anything. It's just
they kind of just
their
like
butt.
Their body just like moves a little bit and then it just falls out.
I've never seen like a rodent poop. But they're just poops everywhere. I've never seen them actually do it.
Yeah, they don't. I think maybe like they pause extremely briefly and then they just keep on moving.
Extremely briefly. Those are two words. It's like extremely.
That was really unnecessary. That's kind of redundant. Sorry.
What does it mean to be extremely brief?
But just way more brief than
It's
like
just
a
like-
cat.
But like extreme briefness. It's like when you're
Extreme brevity.
Is that an oxymoron?
No, it's not.
No, you can. What would an example of extreme
Oh.
brevity be?
You mean an oxymoron?
Yeah.
What's an example of an oxymoron? An oxymoron.
No. Of being extremely brief.
Oh,
Would that
I mean,
be,
it's all relative.
Maybe it's just like, okay, if you have like a speech that it's like the really important speech, and all you get up there and you say, "Thank you," and leave. Is that no? But that's not.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you an example of an oxymoron. How about lengthy brevity?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep, that's an oxymoron right there.
See, I still think extremely brief, because when I think about brief, it's just like, it's brief.
Mm-hmm.
But extreme is like 3 backflips. Extreme is like a house on fire. It's no, or like extreme, just like drinking 8 cups of coffee. That's pretty extreme.
Man, I got to tell you right now, I feel like normally I'd be on my game and I'd be able to give you an example of extreme brevity, but I'm just like so freaking like
tired?
Spent today.
Yeah.
Forrest kept me so busy.
He was just like, yeah.
Okay, so here's something that happened today. So he pooped in his diaper, which doesn't often happen anymore because he poops on the potty. But with the sleep, he's been doing that a lot. I think this, his world is rocky, and so he's just forgetting how things go. And so
He pooped in his diaper today.
He pooped in his diaper today.
Oh,
and so I've got him on the potty and he's doing some more of that. And then I stupidly set down this basket that has his bath toys in them. I set this basket down on his poopy diaper. So this basket has poop on it. Like woven
Did you clean
pieces of wood. But here's what happened is I had to clean it. Man, this is such a poopy episode. We've been talking
Just
about
near
poop
the end.
so much. I had to clean it, and so but I'm letting Forrest turn around because now he's like pooped and peed, and so I'm just like, go run free for a second while I clean up this poop. And I'm cleaning this thing, and I go find him playing in his pee once I finally clean up the poop. I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I have to wash him off and then, go clean up this pee. And so then I like go set him outside to go play while he's like pantsless. And I just have to quickly clean up this pee now. And then I go outside after 2 minutes of leaving him alone, and he's got a bloody knee. He's fell and scraped his knee. He's just so busy right now. He's doing
crazy.
all the
just
things.
Pooping and peeing and scraping his knee.
Yeah, I know. This probably sounds like nothing to everybody, but
Just like, I do that every day.
no, just like it's boring talk. Like it's like something that you can't put yourself into that world if you're not in it.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true. Or maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe people are listening that not a single person is listening right now.
That's probably more likely.
Yeah, it's just us talking. Which
Not
is
right
fine.
now.
I
Nobody's
know,
listening
I'm
at this
okay.
moment that we're
No,
speaking.
But in the moment that somebody could be listening, that they're not.
Wise.
Well, that could be a proverb.
I was just thinking.
I still want to. I want to read.
We
more
should write our own
Proverbs
version
episode.
of Proverbs.
So I think we could come up with something based on that. So it's just like, the ears of the wicked hear not the Lord's grace, but the wrath of God. Huh?
I feel like you just Frankenstein like 4 different Proverbs we just read.
It's just like it sounds like it could be.
Totally.
Didn't they all kind of sound the same? Like the message was kind of the same for all of them, or maybe not.
No, just kind of similar style.
Yeah, but
how about we say the nose of a weasel is long and sharp, but the muzzle of a donkey is mute.
Mute. But is that just observing animals?
Deconstruct
now?
it.
Is that just like observing animals? I could be like, yeah,
well, no,
like
because would you say that? Would you call a donkey's
squats.
muzzle mute? No, it's the word of the Lord.
It's the word of the Lord.
I can hardly get that out.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, you could just go on and on. I just looked at
no more Proverbs.
This is a good one. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones.
Okay, actually, that's a really good. I'm glad you brought that up because that was the last thing I wanted to talk about.
Really?
An actual segue.
Wow, the Proverbs.
This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones.
What
That's
is
basically
it,
the way that I've been. I don't know. We don't know what this is.
What is this?
Well,
this meaning what we're about to talk about.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
wow.
The Bible just segued.
The Bible delivers.
Wow.
This is truth.
It delivers us from boring topics.
Yes. Well, I don't know. This might be boring too, but it's interesting to me. I was realizing today. We've been talking a lot about trying to eat healthy, and everybody has this. They go through this where they're just like, I need to eat better, and
yada yada.
You're always trying new things and
new things every day.
So, and we've been going through, especially you've been going through extremes where you just cut extremes. You're just repeating what I'm saying now.
I'm trying to be a supportive podcaster.
Thank you. I don't think, but that's not how it works.
No,
you don't have to repeat everything I say.
I don't have to repeat everything you say. Okay, so loopy.
You little mischief maker.
Yeah, I'll stop.
But no, I mean, we try some extreme things where it's like, okay, I'm cutting out wheat, or like you just make really
brash,
drastic.
Brash.
I don't think
is that a word?
No, rash. You're thinking of rash, I think. Yeah.
Is brash a word?
I don't know. I think maybe not.
Okay. Okay, continue.
So, so we're always doing like these drastic kind of things, right? But I'm kind of feeling like something for myself, it needs to resonate with me philosophically.
Right.
And I was realizing today with how Forrest has really leveled up and how much energy it takes to keep up with him, I need to focus on eating for energy.
Oh.
And like having a lifestyle with my diet that is going to support how much energy I need to be giving to this, because I don't want to lose my mind on Forrest too often.
Right.
When you're just like, you're so spent, you don't have anything left to give, you're tired, you're exhausted, and they're still asking for more, and you just like, you're spent, you draw your boundaries, right, and it comes out bad. And I don't want to get to that point too much, and it has a lot to do with just keeping my energy up.
Right.
So obviously sleep is one of those things. But another thing I could be doing way better is eating better.
Yeah.
So every time I go to put something in my mouth, I want to ask myself, is this fuel?
Is this energy?
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to give me energy?
And I mean, it doesn't have to be
energy bars or energy drinks. Because those...
No, I mean fuel, like actual nourishing, like this Bible verse says, nourishment to my bones.
To your
That's what
bones.
I want to keep asking myself. I mean, and it's not going to be so extreme where it's like, well, I can't have, this sugar-free ice cream for dessert after having a really good day of eating, because it's not really nourishment for my body.
No. Actually,
here
in
and
fact,
there doing stuff,
wasn't...
but just be intentional with those decisions and understand, like, this is not something that's nourishing me right now, but I'm doing it for a treat, and have one, maybe two of those a day.
It might have been a mistake before this podcast, because both of our throats are kind of...
Yeah, that's right. That ice cream was probably a mistake. I would have gone for chocolate next time.
I've been coughing loogies up this podcast.
No more dairy before going on the air.
But it was lactose, but it's still dairy.
It's still dairy, yeah.
We no more dairy before we go in the air. Derriere.
Derriere.
The butt.
And on that note,
we should look up more Bible verses.
No more. I gotta go to bed. It's late, and sleeping isn't a thing these days. Oh, drink.
Oh yeah, we said sleep because we're playing that game.
Yeah, you're drunk.
No, I'm not.
No, I mean the listener is by now.
Yeah,
they're doing
very drunk.
They're doing the drinking game.
I am not drunk. I got a little bit defensive there, I must admit.
I am not. I had one drink.
One drink.
By the way,
make me drunk.
Crown Royal and Zevia, delicious, and I don't know, probably 12 calories.
12.
Zevia is 0 calories, and the whiskey is
Are you sure it's 0?
Yeah.
And the whiskey, wow, 12 calories, not bad.
And it's delish, and it's naturally sweetened. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom, 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 bing, bang.
Oh yeah, one last thing. Tonight is the first night that we are trying to have Forrest sleeping on a crib mattress next to the bed. I have some time to myself in bed. It's going to be great.
What are you going to do with all that time?
I'm going to sleep so good. I'm going to have crazy dreams, and I'm going to wake up being like,
and don't remember them, because that's not apparently healthy for you.
Oh, and it's not about remembering them, right? It's just about don't dwell on them.
Yeah, I love the feeling of slowly forgetting dreams. It's just so nice. Half asleep, and then you're just clinging, and they're kind of like
they're just kind of whisking away. Yeah.
Just trying to imagine, just like, I don't know what movie it's in where they're just like, goodbye. And then there's like this person is like, I'm going now. You know, like, oh, like
all dogs go to heaven.
In Jumanji or something. We're just like, oh, and they get sucked back, you know.
That's cool.
But taken back. Something like that where it's like, goodbye. You know, like, see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of go away. And then you're like, what? You can't remember anything. And then you're like, I have to get up. I don't want to get up.
I totally know that feeling.
Yeah.
Gonna happen again every
Pretty
day.
soon.
Really soon.
I feel like
8 hours.
yeah.
Less than 8 hours. We better get to bed.
But I feel like just to humor me, I feel like we should have a closing Bible verse.
Closing Bible verse. Why don't we just make a closing statement?
Why are you so against reading the Bible?
Oh, I'm just okay. It's just I'm not good at deconstructing these. I don't have as much practice as you have.
I don't have any practice. It's just
right.
fun. It's like I haven't read the Bible in ages. Okay, this one.
So now you
We
just
used to
need me
literally-
around. You
yeah.
cannot stop reading the
No,
Bible. You
I
just
know.
need me
I'm so
around to
I'm
read the Bible.
filled
You
with the
secretly.
Spirit. I'm filled with the Spirit.
All right. You know what? I'll humor you.
Okay. This is what we used to do
Okay.
in my Bible thumping days,
Mm-hmm.
which is the thump over the head. Is what
It
when
is
I'm
not.
saying
It's
Bible
a
when
finger.
I'm saying Bible thump though, I mean over the head.
Okay.
Is
That doesn't make sense to me, but that's fine.
We would like flip through the Bible randomly and just be like, "Oh, what does that mean?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And just try and
that's a
apply it.
message. Yeah. So we're gonna do that right now, but you have to put your intentions into it.
Okay.
You know?
It's going to be the date.
So this is the date today.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
04/23.
okay. That's
That's when we're recording the podcast. We've exposed ourselves. It doesn't matter.
You're right about both those things. Wait, no, that's
04.
contradictory. Okay, so this is we got to set the intention. This is going to be the sign off of the night. This is what we're gonna take. This is what we're gonna go away and meditate on this. Our listeners are gonna think about this and apply it to their own lives, and it's gonna be very profound. It's gonna be a very good thing.
It lasts for 24 hours.
It's a spell that lasts for 24 hours.
It's like a horoscope.
Yeah, exactly. So what is it?
04/23.
23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it.
I love that.
It's pretty good.
That's actually really damn good.
See, Proverbs, man.
I'm glad it wasn't like the adulterous woman's deep mouth.
That was a good one. I'm still thinking about that one. Like, man. And you can like fall into her big giant mouth. only if God's mad at you.
If there's any Proverbs that's gonna last for 24 hours like a horoscope, this is a good one.
It's
Above
very
all
good.
else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it.
And on that note,
See, we can go to bed really happy now, guarding our hearts.
just like with our hands over our hearts, just like we gotta guard this.
You know how to take this. It's not so literal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to not be funny.
Trying to not be funny.
Yeah.
It was good. You nailed it.
Perfect.
Oh, I feel like I've been mean to you this podcast. I'm sorry, honey.
It's okay.
Are you really okay?
No, but I'll get it. I'll get through it. I'm guarding my heart right now.
Aw, you don't have to guard your heart
No,
from me.
yeah. What?
You don't have to guard your heart from me.
Oh, because it's safe.
Yeah.
Right. Because everything I do, it's coming out of it.
Yeah.
And you understand that, but not everybody understands that. See, everybody, reading the Bible is okay. It's an okay thing to do.
Yeah.
I know some of our listeners might be like, "Yeah, it's the best thing to do."
Mm-hmm. And some people are like,
Some
"Oh,
people
don't
are like-
say that to me."
Yeah, and some people are like, the Bible's bad." And
Some
this
people are
is-
like, "I never even considered it."
no, or just be like, "That's an old book, out of date." And I'm like, just like read some Proverbs.
Yeah, just give it a try.
Give it a
And
try.
strip away all of the stigmas that you've ever associated with it, and just
Yeah.
remember it's way older than all of those people who gave it that stigma.
That's true. And I don't think it's and whether or not it's 100% truth or whatever, it's an old book that it has inspired a lot of literature and it's inspired a lot of culture.
Supposedly, according to one book that I was reading, it is actually been historically verified as well. Like
What does that
it's
even
considered
mean?
a historical document.
Well, yeah. All right. It's inspired Shakespeare a lot. It's inspired
I
a
didn't
lot
know
of
that.
things. I mean, yeah, well, the Bible is all throughout Shakespeare. I think.
Apparently, I haven't read all that much Shakespeare.
We got
studied in school, but I don't know.
We got to talk to our friend who's getting his PhD in English literature about this. He would know.
He's just going to say the F word.
Let's not explain that.
No, we're not going to explain it. Okay, well, and I just want you to know about the past 3 minutes, I've also been stroking Johnny's hair. So this
nice.
Is just
it was kind of a tender thing
touch.
when you
when I said you don't have to guard your heart,
and you're just like, you've been mean to me.
Yeah, and so I started stroking your hair.
Yeah, and then you're just I was like, all is forgiven.
And guess what? We get to friggin' snuggle tonight because Forrest is sleeping on a crib mattress next to the bed.
We don't just get to snuggle, we get to friggin' snuggle.
Yeah.
Which is
Don't come in. Do not disturb.
It's friggin' time. We're friggin' in there. It's okay. We're married.
Yeah, but
we're allowed to frig.
Yeah.
And wow, we're very holy tonight. Reading the Bible, talking about friggin' after marriage.
I feel like it was important to balance out the spooky talk and how we talked about demons because that's,
Well, we gotta guard our heart, right?
Exactly.
From the demons.
So we have protection. We have the Lord's protection now.
Yeah. And he's not mad at us, so we don't have to worry about falling into adulteresses' mouths.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I still think that's a dope album cover.
Who can we get to design that? And who can we also get to want that for their album cover?
Yeah. I think that'd be so awesome. Just like this woman just being like, and it's like she's just naked and she's like, I'm an adulteress, and like there's like a man falling into it and God's being like, oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a great album cover. I'm gonna pitch it. I'm just like, so I if you need help design an album cover, I have a great idea.
That's great.
It's an adulteress, and it's a wicked man falling into it, and God's mad at him.
Well, you could talk to our producer friend Garth Richardson and pitch it to him for one of his bands that he produces, like Biffy Clyro or something.
Good idea. I'm gonna just
hey
send
Garth,
him
listen.
I'm gonna text him right now.
Good. You should.
Hey Siri, text Garth Richardson. I have a great.
What do you want to say?
I have a great album cover idea for you.
Your message to Garth Richardson says, I have a great album cover idea for you. Ready to send it?
No.
You chickened out.
I won't send it just yet.
Okay,
I won't send it.
thanks Siri. I should have
She
done
sure
that.
is helpful to you.
That was just a name drop. I just wanted to prove that I had it wasn't. I can call him anytime I want.
I could just call up my friend,
Yeah.
Garth Richardson,
GG.
producer of the Rage Against the Machine
No,
album.
I don't want to do this.
Well, you said you wanted to name drop, so I was just
Yeah.
riffing on that.
Just dropped it. Yeah.
And dropped.
You want to know another name?
George Clooney.
I was just gonna say.
No way, because we've done this before, and that is the name
Wait,
that you use.
wait. Here's one. Steven Spielberg.
I'm gonna say one. Rita Wilson.
Oh.
Do you know who Rita Wilson is?
No, but I'm like, I wanted to give you a reaction
Thank
as if
you.
I did, because if I would have been totally yes knowing you. Is it no and-ing you?
Oh yeah,
because you want a yes and. Glenn Close.
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 Klaus.
Wait, is it close?
It's Glenn Close. It's not even spelled like Klaus or anything. It's spelled like the word close.
I thought it was like Glenn Close, the character on Life Aquatic, Klaus.
Oh yeah.
That was Glenn Close.
Oh my gosh! So you've never seen Glenn Close written down?
I don't look at words. It's just when I assume I know the word of this actor.
I don't look at words.
It's true.
Oh, that is so funny. Well, it's just like when we were listening to Ace of Base today. You thought that it was I Saw the Sun.
Oh man, there's so much. I'm so confused about Ace of Base. What are the other things? There's a bunch of things I'm just not. I was wrong.
Oh yeah,
about. I saw the sun when I opened up my eyes. I saw the sun. It just made so much sense to me.
And then it's, no one's gonna drag you up to get into the line where you you belong, and you thought it was light.
I thought it was light, and I was like, but then when I recently, yesterday, when I found out that it was actually I Saw the Sign, I'm like, I guess that makes more sense because you don't look directly into the sun.
No. And also, if you listen to any of the other lyrics, it really starts to make sense. Then there's the other song too, All That She Wants. is another
all
baby.
that she wants is another baby. And I was like, she's a mom that wants another
More
baby, but
babies,
she can't
more.
have it because she's infertile.
Yeah, it's not that at all.
I thought it was like
if
the
you
sad
just
story.
listen, she says,
All that she, this is what the lyrics I know. All that she wants is another baby. Shimzamana. I don't know the rest of the words.
she's gone tomorrow, boy. All that she wants.
She's gone tomorrow, boy.
Yeah.
But she could be talking about a boy.
Okay, but then there's also, she's the hunter, you're the fox. Gentle voice that talks to you won't talk forever.
Wow.
It is a night of passion.
Lyrics. Wow.
And the morning means goodbye. And that's all I know.
What if it's about...
A night of passion and the morning means goodbye. That's pretty clear.
What if the song is about just like she just wants to make another baby, so she's just sleeping with all these different
That could
men
be.
until she gets pregnant. She doesn't want to.
It could be both.
It could be that.
In fact, I think that's probably what it is. We're going to leave it there.
What?
Yeah. Let's just combine our theories because we're never going to know.
That's a great theory combination.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, sometimes you can come to a collaborative agreement and still both get your way in an argument, and you don't say, I'm right.
We're both right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Blew my mind.
See, honey, we can find ways to both be right in these
Ace
situations.
of Base is bringing us together.
Yeah. I knew I loved Ace of Base for a reason.
Wow. Ace of Base.
By the way, also, it was a test today. Forrest friggin' loved
he
Ace of Base.
does love Ace of Base, so which means we're going to listen to Ace of Base.
Yeah, but then there was a certain point in the album, the one album that I love, that he started asking for different music. And I was like, I know, buddy. It always gets to this point for me in this album, too. I'm also done.
Yeah. Ace of Base, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, profound.
Good stuff.
I'm going to get an Ace of Base tattoo.
All right, well, let's wrap it up.
I always feel like wrapping up these is kind of like when we would have our phone calls and we never knew when to hang up.
It's like you said this exact thing in the last podcast. You hang up. No, you hang up.
Oh.
See, I love that our podcast is now actually capturing when you do this.
I also repeat myself a lot. That's what I'm terrified about this podcast is it's just going to be like a carbon copy of itself every single time.
Oh, that's impossible. Absolutely impossible.
Could you imagine if like Twilight Zone one podcast was word for word verbatim?
Just like kind of delivered a little bit differently so you know it's not actually the same podcast. That'd be creepy. We should do that sometime. We'll completely script and learn our entire podcast episode and just do it all over again, but like slightly different.
That would be.
We'll do it for like
so much
Halloween
effort.
or April Fools or it would not be worth it.
That'd be a ridiculous amount of effort for no. What's the payoff? Some people being like, actually, no, that would be pretty funny.
I'm like,
if people were just like, wait a second, is this the same? That would be cool. I would do that if we had like 1 million subscribers. My eyes are so heavy, and I'm seeing your eyes being really heavy.
I'm like very quickly deteriorating right now.
I'm
just getting delirious.
So
I can hardly look you in the eyes right now. My eyes are darting around.
Read another Bible.
No, we're done. Okay, let's read
the Bible verse.
Let's reiterate the Bible verse of today. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it.
Proverbs 4:23, which is the date today. Monday. It's a Monday.
Not anymore.
That's not true.
Not when people are listening
to
this.
No, but it is Monday now.
That's true. Okay. Would you let me
go?
People
could listen.
If you love me, let me go.
Not everybody's going to be listening to this the day it comes out.
No, but so
people
it could be a Monday.
People will probably listening to this on a Monday.
I'm going to pass.
People could listen to this April 23rd next year.
Let me go to bed. Okay. Love you, honey. Okay. We had a proverb. We don't have a closing statement.
Okay. I think we should read the Bible every podcast. No.
I'm like resting my chin on the microphone right now.
My nose on
Let's go to bed.
Okay.
Okay. Love you. Talk to you next week. You got a crazy week this week and you got to get some sleep.
I got a crazy night.
Oh my goodness. You still have to work.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm drawing this out.
Maybe.
Okay.
You're just avoiding
we gotta press the stop button at the same time. The space bar.
Okay, here we go. 3, I love you, honey. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. That's it for Merriment this week. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we would love to hear your thoughts on the podcast. Take a sec to give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Google Play so other people can find us too. Also, a few things we talked about in this episode will be up on the website for you to reference. You'll find them along with all our links to social media at carlyandjohnny.com. Talk to you next week.